The book of Ruth starts out with the story of a man by the name of Elimelech and his wife Naomi and their 2 sons. And they moved from Bethlehem, Judah, to the land of Moab. Why? Because there was a famine in Bethlehem, Judah, that forced them to have to find a place that had food. So they moved to the land of Moab, where they found food. While they were there, Elimelech died, leaving Naomi as a widow, but she still had her 2 sons. Each of her sons married a Moabite woman. One of them married a woman named Orpah. The other one married a woman named Ruth. After about 10 years of living there in Moab, both of the sons died. Now here's Naomi with both of her sons dead and her husband dead in this foreign land. She had to bury them in this foreign land. And now she's grieving. And so she decides that she's going to move back to Bethlehem, Judah, to her people, where her family is. And now they have food again. The famine's over. Well, Orpah hugged her neck and kissed her goodbye. Now, don't get angry with Orpah for leaving Naomi. This was her homeland. Moab was the only land she'd ever known. This is where her mama and daddy lived. This is where her brothers and sisters lived. This is where all of her friends she grew up with, all of them are there. I can't blame her for doing that. You say, but the whole thing is being loyal to Naomi. No, the thing is that God's plan for Orpah was not the same as God's plan for Ruth. We need to come to the place that when somebody is going to leave our life, that we accept the fact, you are not part of my future. You are not part of my destiny. God bless you. Goodbye. And she let her go. But Ruth, the Bible says, Ruth clung to Naomi. And she said, where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die. Where you are buried, I will be buried. I mean, that was just such amazing loyalty that she showed to Naomi. So they go back to Bethlehem, Judah, and over a period of events, Ruth ends up getting married to one of the wealthiest men in Bethlehem, Judah, who's related to Naomi. And God used Ruth to be the key to Naomi's sustenance. Actually, she was better provided for in her old age than she was in her younger years because of Ruth marrying this wealthy man and Ruth saying, I will never leave you and you will always be with me. Your people will be my people. She was committed to take care of Naomi, so she took care of her, even in her old age. The problem is Naomi didn't realize that Ruth was her key. Naomi looked at her life as a series of separate events. We need to look at our lives and understand that God has a different perspective. He lives in eternity. He doesn't live in time. He looks down into time and sees, oh, that's where you're going to go through the famine. That's where you're going to move to Moab. That's where your husband's going to die. That's where your son's going to marry. And that's where they're going to die. And then that's where Ruth is going to join herself to you and you're going to go back to your homeland. And then Ruth's going to marry Boaz, and Boaz is going to provide for all of you. The problem was that when they moved back to Bethlehem, Judah, everybody said, hey, Naomi's back. She said, Naomi means joy. Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara, which means bitter. Bitter. She was bitter with God. Why? Because all she saw was where she was, not where she was going. She didn't see the future that God was taking her into. And you and I need to recognize the fact that our lives are a series of events that are all strung together in God's great plan to take us somewhere as long as we are pursuing His will. Romans 8:28 says it all. It says all things work together for good to them who love God and who are the called according to His purpose. As long as we love God and are seeking His purpose, everything is working for our good. I want to give you a message that I preached based on the life of the youngest king that Israel ever had, Josiah, who became king at age 8. When he was 18 years old, he turned an entire nation to God. In fact, after his death, God said that no king before or after him had ever sought after God like he did. What caused this young man to be transformed into such a mighty man of God? He learned his destiny. I want you to have this message so you will be inspired to find God's destiny for your life. If you'd like to get this free audio CD or download it now as an MP3 file, just visit our website, markgorman.com. And on the home page, click the link for the free audio. And if you live in the New Orleans area, come visit us at Grace Christian Center in 2 locations. On Saturdays at 6 p.m., we have our North Shore service in Slidell at 3648 Pontchartrain Drive. That's Highway 11. And Sundays at 10:45 a.m., we meet at 1301 Metairie Road. For more information, visit our church website, gccnola.com. Thank you, and God bless you.